Alright, this is Looney once again, and there's a little bit more I wanted to talk about with the Connecticut shooting because this is a very touchy subject, and I give my condolences to the families of the lost ones. But, it's just, yeah, there's just so many factors into this, and I got into the main media of this topic. I didn't really get into my personal view on it. My personal view is, well, the fucker's dead. Okay. Uh, he killed himself, and I'm gonna see him in hell. And when I do, I'm gonna kick the shit out of him. But that's in the underworld, so I'll get into that a different time. What was it that I wanted to talk about? Oh man, there was just so many things I had on my mind about this, and I wanted to talk about it. Well, yeah, well, apparently this guy, the shooter, was a very isolated type person, and for that, me and him have a connection there, and except I have me and God have an understanding, but me and the devil have an arrangement. So I know what's what, and I can't even understand what was going on up in his dome. That was the problem, is that we're never gonna know, and everyone was so interested in why. It's not about the why, it's about the what the fuck just happened. It's like you gotta stay focused on what's actually happening, like what actually just went down. I mean, this is like, I heard the third worst shooting, and I think it's the first worst shooting because what was it? About 30 people died, and most of them were the age of 4 and 5. Okay, that they 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 were still in bliss at that point. They were still just lollygagging kids. I remember back then I was so just active. I had so much energy, I could just take on the fucking world back then. Now I'm older, and I feel I've slowed down. I feel like I'm about 100, and I'm not even near that close yet. So well, I really wanted to get into the heaven and hell issue, because I can see where he's gonna go, and I promise you he's not gonna like it. I can't disclose, but I can tell you that much. Man, don't worry, all the little kids are going to heaven. You all should know that by now, but oh man, this is just such a bad topic. And it's a shame how much the media blew up about this, but I was just talking about this earlier today, so I figured I had to throw my 2 cents in. And no one's probably going to watch this, but it's about the message. Just you got to feel for these people. You can't just like brush this shit off. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do feel really bad about this. And there's only one thing that you can really do with that, is you gotta treat people right. I mean, obviously this guy was isolated, like I said earlier, and he probably wasn't given that much attention, and his mom put him on all this medication and threatened to throw him back into the loony bin, and that's no walk in the fucking park, okay? You can't just go in there and sit in your little padded room for the rest of your fucking life. Isolation is isolation, and throwing him in there would probably create an even worse problem. You gotta, as they say, nip it in the butt. You gotta stop the problem before it even fucking happens. And something like him about to snap, go crazy, and kill a bunch of people, human beings have this energy about them, and their body reacts to this energy, and if the intentions of the energy are good, then you're gonna see like a chipper type person. But if the energies are bad, the intentions are bad, then you're gonna see more of a head low type, uh, outcast type guy, you know? And when I saw a picture of the guy, I was just like, no shit. No shit he would go and fucking massacre a bunch of people just off the fucking look of this guy. I was just like, man, I can read him like a goddamn book. If I've seen him earlier, before this happened, I would have been like, he's gonna go kill a bunch of people. I can just see it. And most people can, but people are, I'm not blaming anything, but people are so involved with their social networks, they can't read people like they used to. Back a long time ago, before these social networks were big, people could pick up on each other, you know? They could tell if they're having a shitty day. Now it's like, you hit them up, you text them up, it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, hey man, how's it going? And your friend's like, man, fuck dude, fuck man, alright, I'm alright, shit. I mean, because of this, it's kind of depriving us of human interaction, which is really bad. And I heard 1 out of 5 relationships start on fucking online shit, and that's fucking bad, I think. I mean, that number should be down to like 1 out of 100 relationships start online, but that it's not like that. So you gotta deal with the world the way it is, not how you want it to be. You gotta plan for how it is, not plan for how you want it to be. And the longer you stay deaf to this, the more worse it's gonna end up for you. You gotta see the problem as it is, nip it in the butt before it happens, and if you don't do that, you're gonna face consequences. And how can you not pick up on this? How? I mean, shit, dude. I'm not saying that this would have never happened. Eventually, they're gonna set up a bar. It's like, alright, this guy killed a bunch of elementary schoolers. I gotta go break into a hospital and kill a bunch of babies now. I gotta be even more fucked up than that guy. You know, they're trying to set a bar. And yeah, he's, like I said, he's in hell right now, and just be glad that you're not in his position. As I said, I don't mean to offend anybody by throwing in my 2 cents on this touchy subject. I know it's very touchy, as I said. My condolences to the family. I love and hate you. Goodbye. This has been Looney.